Okay, so what I want us to do now is to look at that stuff that we could put in here about these settlers and their beliefs and how it would affect. Are they going to have the similar political developments or different political developments? Different. Okay, so let's look at what we can start putting here from our chart. Let's just look on the left-hand side. Last time I was taking you through it. Now I want you to start telling me on the left column, what are some things I could put in here? What are some things for my chart that we had last time? Go ahead.
Congregational church.
Congregational, where does that go?
New England.
What else beyond congregational church? What would I put on the other part for the Chesapeake?
Anglican Church.
Anglican Church. Which means Church of England, right? Okay, what else do I have on that first column?
Bacon's Rebellion.
What was that?
Bacon's Rebellion.
Oh, Bacon's Rebellion, that goes over here. What else do I have?
Tax supported education.
That would go on which side?
Dissenters create new colonies.
That goes where?
Both.
Both. What else?
Established churches on both.
Okay. Is that everything in that first column?
No.
Let's look at the,
Or, no.
what are we missing?
Oh, never mind, never mind.
Let's look at the middle.
Halfway covenant.
Halfway covenant, that goes on the,
No.
what else?
First Constitution.
That goes on. What else?
Navigation laws.
What else? Bible Commonwealth.
Slave codes.
Is there anything else in that middle one? Okay, let's look at the last one.
Self-governing.
That goes in the middle, right? What else?
Some religious toleration. The Mayflower Compact.
Uh-huh.
Town meetings.
Greenwich Drive.
Oh, which, looking at this, is there one side that is more hunkered down in their beliefs affecting their political system? Which side would y'all say?
New England.
New England is heavily affected by their beliefs, right? That will affect their political institutions. Okay, what affects their political institutions over here? Is it the church, is it Bacon's Rebellion, slave codes, or elected assembly? Do you think their labor system affects their stuff, what's going on? Do the men in power have a lot of voice in their representative government? And they're trying to affect their establishment so that it can reflect their wealth, right? are those things getting into finer stuff, okay? Let's look at the last one, identity. Hey, let's look at that first column. Is there anything in identity that I could put in here? English, where would that go?
Both.
Both. Okay, what else? Real code? There's code in here.
The dissenters create new colonies.
Dissenters create new colonies, that's in the middle of both, right? What else?
Bacon's Rebellion.
A disease in short life. What else?
Bacon's Rebellion.
I think there's nothing in that first column. Let's move to the next column.
Longer lifespan. Primarily men and women and families.
What else? Men, women, and families.
Primarily men in the Chesapeake.
Primarily men.
Psychos.
Majority slaves and indentured servants. And then John Smith and gentlemen.
Okay, let's go to the last one. Everything in that last column. Nothing. Okay. Can I put a social pyramid here? That would be good, right? Who's at the top? Sure, then the government, and then the clergy, elect, non-elect, Puritan. Was this social pyramid affected by their identity? Who was coming over? Did this group up here, who affected their social pyramid? Do I have nearly every single person that could be on the social pyramid here? Yeah, right? Who's at the top?
Gentlemen.
Government, and farmer, and indentured servant. And then again, does this identity, is it religiously influenced?
Yes.
This identity over here, is it economically influenced?
Yes.
Okay, so there's one more category we'll go to. Okay, can I flip? Okay, let's look at this one. Motivations for migration. Do we have anything on here that was motivations for migration? No, right? I want us to think, where did their motivation for migration come? Did it happen in the Americas? or did it happen in England? England, so is that even like a part of the essay? But if it happened in England, does that influence them coming over? So that's the before history. And that's called, you heard this word last year, contextualization. You heard that said a lot by your teacher, right? What happened before to cause this? So let's look at what we could put in New England and what we could put in the Chesapeake. So what would influence the Puritans over here to come?
Want religious freedom.
They wanted religious freedom. Why?
Because they're being persecuted.
They wanted religious freedom. They were being persecuted. By who? Charles the First. What else do we know? What other prior history can I bring up about why they would come here? Is that overpopulation affecting the Puritans? They're like, oh, let's leave because we're overpopulated.
They weren't unhappy with how the Church of England was.
They weren't happy with what?
The Church of England.
Why?
Because it wasn't like pure enough.
It wasn't pure enough. What event were they like trying to, they were happy with, but then it didn't act out to fruition? Protestant Reformation. So that, is that now contextualized in Protestant Reformation? Didn't Reform Church, what were they upset about? Was there still Catholic type assemblies here? Do you understand, just saying Protestant Reformation, would that get you the contextualization? You would have to explain it out, right? What else are they upset about back home? We've seen this before, that the pure are sitting next to the damned, right? There's a lot of little things, okay? So now let's look at the Chesapeake. What motivated them to come? Well, trying to find gold. What other things? Well, that isn't finding gold, they're economically motivated, right? But that's happening here. What is happening back in the old world that contextualized? Me saying gold, that's not contextualization, right? That's what motivated them. But what's going on in the old world that caused them to come?
The land disposal.
Law of primogeniture, which, who gets to inherit the land?
First son.
So then the second and third and fourth born sons, they pulled their money together in a what? A joint stock company. Okay, and then we also have, in closing of the, or farmland. And that's what gave us that headright system, right? And this is what that overpopulation, looking for work. Okay, there's a similarity here that we haven't touched on. What are they both looking for?
Land.
Are they both really looking for land? What are they looking for?
A better life.
A better life. They're looking for opportunity. So now I want us to look at the AP rubric. Huh? Yeah. Okay, so I want us to look at the AP rubric to see how we did through our brainstorming. So let's look at the first one, the thesis. Response to the prompt with a historically defensible thesis/claim that establishes a line of reasoning. Through our charting out of stuff, Have we established this line of reasoning? Yes, because y'all said the geography is gonna lead to what? The geography of the regions will lead to what? The economic development, right? Y'all have also said the beliefs of the people will affect their what? Political institutions, right? So contextualization. Have we at least described, or can we describe, a broader historical context relevant to the prompt that occurred before? And the reason why I'm saying before is because I taught you the after. No. And can you do it with explaining it? Because you're not awarded for a mere phrase. So if y'all were saying that they're coming because the Protestant Reformation didn't do his job, would you get the point there? No, you would have to explain that in the Protestant Reformation, Henry VIII only changed the name of the church. He still left all of the Catholic ideas, the popery, and that the Puritans felt that this wasn't enough. Now is that beyond a phrase? Because it's an explanation you could be awarded credit for. Have you provided specific examples relevant to the topic? Yes, right? But we need to organize them. But do we have that now? This next one, can we support an argument and respond to the prompt using specific relevant examples? That means explaining them out. Can y'all now just go beyond head right and explain what the head right system is? Okay, let's look at the analysis. Can you use a historical reasoning, example, comparison, causations, or change over time to structure an argument? What are we using? We are going to use a comparison. Okay, so to get the comparison point, you have to explain both the similarity and difference. Did it say or? No. Looking at the way we've done our chart, does it give us the similarities and does it give us the differences?
Yes.
But yes, they are similar. They were both self-governing. However, the way that the people believed affected who have self-government, right? Does that now create that similarity and difference? This last thing is to demonstrate a complex understanding of the historical development. And I was talking to my other class that this one's really hard. When I've graded for AP for 17 years, and this is probably hardly ever awarded. Okay? Within an hour of me grading, I probably awarded only once. Okay? So I want to, y'all are reading the Crucible, right? And the Crucible is a witch trial, right? Is there another time in history where there was a massive witch trial that people were being hunted down because of their beliefs and affecting their society and infiltrating them? It was during the Cold War and it was called the Red Scare. We were looking for commies. And y'all can't use that on the essay unless you thoroughly explain it out. If you just mention witch hunts, it's similar to the Red Scare, you don't get a point. Okay? A lot of people have told me Joseph McCarthy and they've explained that out, but I'm telling you, you can't use that one. Okay? But again, this is you coming. I'm not going to spoon feed you and tell you what this one is. Okay? Looking at this, have we discussed all the things to go on? Okay, what we're going to be doing over the next few days, and I need to reprint this out, is just people had a lot of copies to print out this morning. What we're going to be doing when we come back from lunch, or let me just, y'all see this? This is our prompt, and I want us to look at it. I want us to look at what have we done. Does it reflect what this prompt is? It says, although the New England and the Chesapeake region were both settled largely by people of English origin, by 1700, these regions had evolved into two distinct societies. Does our chart prove that?
Yes.
Why did this difference in development occur? That is your job. I want us to look at this. If I were to write a thesis today from what we've done with our chart, would I be able to answer that question? Hey, what are some words that are in here that I definitely need to have in my thesis?
Different.
I need to explain differences, right? That's my job. What other two words do I need to have? What? New England and Chesapeake. If you don't have those in there, are you making a thesis? No. And so your job eventually is, I'm going to give this to you when we come back from lunch. Over Wednesday, tonight you're gonna study for your test. Tomorrow you're gonna study for your test. Wednesday after the test, we're gonna be working on this. Friday, we're gonna be working on this. Over the weekend, you're gonna be working on this, because next Wednesday, you'll come and write it. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna come back from lunch. Should you focus on the opening paragraph? No, you should directly go to your body paragraphs. And from what we've done on that chart, you're gonna start writing, okay, what's my topic sentence? And that's your claim. It is evident that the beliefs of the people who came to this area will affect the political development of the Chesapeake and New England. Have I covered both regions within the same category? Jot your stuff out. And then, now you need to come in, cover outside information to further your thesis. Could you do although? Although they both set up self-government, blah, blah, okay, then you come and explain. Should it be one point here? No, New England Bible Commonwealth. No, you need to go through your information and be like, what can I use from the New England area to be able to convey that their beliefs affect their political system? And then you're gonna come and do the Chesapeake, and what in their beliefs affects their political system. And the last thing is a clincher. You're summarizing your paragraph over again. It is evident that the beliefs of both the Puritans and these men who settled the Chesapeake area, their beliefs will affect their economic institutions and who holds authority. Have you repeated your thesis? And oftentimes when you'll write before on your test is that you're not getting your thesis there. So I want you to have several chances to get that thesis. So today when you come back from lunch, you're gonna try to figure out what is gonna go in your body paragraphs. You're gonna come back to this chart. And you're gonna be like, okay, what can I group together? What other information can I put in here? So like if you're looking at this, should you start with Bacon's Rebellion? If you're saying that the geography influenced the economic development, what should you focus on? If you're saying the geography focused the economic development, what should you focus on?
Cash crops.
Cash crops. Well, what allow for cash crops? Is there some information we're still missing here? Like fertile soil? Over here, am I missing rocky land? So there's still further information. Again, if you're limited by this and not giving me extra details, your grade is probably not gonna be that good. You need to give me the details. And so this is where you're gonna come back from today from lunch to start planning. And I will have this. Again, a lot of people started planning on separate sheets. They started categorizing what did they want to be put first. If they were gonna focus on beliefs, what needed to happen first? Many people wanted to focus on contextualization to lead into the identity. But that's what you're doing today, is you're gonna be planning when we come back from lunch. How do y'all feel about what we've done?